How are you? Hey, Lauren. Hey, guys. How are you? How is everybody? And there's Nicte. Hey, Funding Chick. How are you? Promotion. I'm just saying hi to everybody because they're coming in like gangbusters, girl.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I have to say hi to my amigues because I haven't talked to her in, I think, about a week.
Forever.
Yes, it's just horrible.
I know.
We're always chit-chatting and we've been
back
too busy.
in the world now.
Yes,
my little one was sick, like pretty sick last week, so everything changes when you're a mom and you have to take care of your little one, so I'm back.
Give us a high five if you're a mom or a dad, and we can't discriminate because we all have jobs, right? Whether you're mom or a dad, we're always running around after something. So,
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you guys here again. Hey, Ken. Mi Bella Fresca joined in as well. How is everyone? We're about to get started here. We were just chit-chatting for a second. So, do you want me to start, Honey Buns?
Yes, please do.
All right. So, today we are going to talk about the rule of 7. Okay? What the rule of 7 is, nice visual, Nick, I liked it. The rule of 7 simply states, and it's an old marketing principle invented by, I believe his last name is Lent. He says, and so do many marketers in this day and age, it takes, hi Audrey, it takes 7 times. 7 plus 2, that's 7. 7 times for anyone, we're going to just focus on audience in general, but it is anyone, to actually hear your message. Because most of the population, including marketers like myself, we have marketing blinders on. And sometimes we may get an email, oh, blind, didn't see it. We may get a postcard, oh, didn't see that either. And we may see a social media post about it. Maybe we kind of start seeing it now because you're like, oh, I've seen that somewhere. So now it's starting to register. Guys, we're on time number 4, okay? So then you've got time number 5. You may get a call. Time number 6, you may get some other marketing piece. You may see another social media post if somebody's running a Facebook campaign. Typically, Facebook campaigns do run in cycles of 3. That's an extra tip there, by the way, guys. You're running a Facebook, and I'm not talking about boosting a post. I'm talking about a campaign. It's usually a 3-step process. So on another show, we'll cover that. So if you think about this, we're up to 5 or 6 times that we have shot out that same content. And so 7 times seems like a lot, but it's not if you think about all the channels you should be using it, which the rule of 7 still valid in this day and age because now we have added noise. We've got people screaming at our audience. Well, we're not screaming, we're just talking, but sometimes we scream. You know, they've got all these people telling, oh, we're your solution, yeah. Come. So people are putting these blinders on. I'm guilty, Nicte, I'm sure you are too, and I'm sure our audience is too.
You guys give us hearts if you are guilty of it. If you agree with what Monica's saying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who we are. We all have marketing blinders. So 7 times, guys. So let's go back to 7 times. It doesn't just mean that you do your message 7 times. Well, it does. But we're talking about the same message. So when we talk about curating your content, that's another 7. So your first curation should be 7. Your second, another 7. And actually, some people believe that this is all in an 18-month period. I don't usually take it to that extreme, but back in the days, it was that if you were in an 18-month period, that was the period of the 7 times you heard the message. So when we're thinking, why is that important to our marketing strategy? Because if you guys have been on social for any period of time, You should by now be curating your content.
Yes.
Nicte, do you want to talk about what curating your content is?
Yes, absolutely. So when you curate your content, you have a strategy behind it. You're not just posting randomly, because in the beginning, you're kind of posting to test to see what works and what resonates with people, right? So by curating your content, you are using or continuing to use like type content that has already resonated with your audience. So once you know what is really resonating with them, and whether, and it's not really about the likes, it's about the engagement and the comments, and people like, I totally understand this, or thank you for sharing this tip to help me with XYZ. Those are the ones that you want to pay attention to and start to focus on that, because what Monica said about the rule of 7 is so important. And I have to thank her for that, because she's the one who mentioned it many times until eventually I was like, oh, wow, okay, this totally makes sense. I get it. And
did it take you 7 times?
No, it didn't. It took me like maybe two or three. But then I remembered that you had said that in one of your last posts, that you were saying that it takes 7 times and you wanted to remind your audience of it. And again, that's you creating your content curation. You were bringing it back to remind everybody in your community. And so I think that's so important when you are curating your content. It's and that's not necessarily repeating the image, but it's repeating the process or the concept or the idea, maybe using different visuals to help better illustrate the content that you're trying to do or support the copy that you're trying to put out for your brand. So I think that that's just so important. And what you said is perfect. We're so bombarded with like so many things from social media, things here, buy this, I'm better, blah, blah. And you start to lose some of that authenticity sometimes. So exactly like you said, you put on blinders. And sometimes I do that too. I'm like, oh, I'm too busy to read this. And there's like very few people that, obviously you're one of them, Monica, that I love reading the content from, because there's always something that I learn. So when you see your audience learning something, stick to that. And that is, again, bringing it back to the full circle of what you were saying.
Yes. So don't curate content that doesn't get any engagement. You can just probably stick that in the trash can, unless you want to try it again with a different image. I'm going to use today's example. Today I did marketing is the science of the creative. I've done that post probably about 10 times. I have changed images to kind of test the times, to test the engagement, to see which image is actually getting the most engagement on this one little line. Marketing is the science of the creative. I think I've tested 6 different images, and today I tested a different one as well. Because, guys, I'm also the type that I get bored with my own content. I don't know if that happens to you all. I don't know if that happens to y'all, but if it does, it's normal. It is totally normal to get bored with your own content. And it's actually a good thing, because what you do is you start thinking about other things that you could write as content. You start reaching out to other accounts. That's what I've been doing lately, just trying to find other accounts that kind of lift me up and make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, because, you know, once you start scrolling, it's like, oh my God, here's the same thing being said over and over again. Yes. Okay. By different means. So back to the rule of 7 specifically. If we think about today, it used to be that the time frame that we're talking about people absorbed information used to be 3 to 5 seconds. Guys, we're down to 2 to 3 seconds. So you got 2 to 3 seconds to get someone's attention. And then you got to do it 7 times per message. And it's not just one source. For those of you guys who just joined in, we're talking about the rule of 7 and how it takes an individual 7 times. I really love that visual, Nicte, by the way. It's on point. 7 times. And we're not just talking about your social media message. It's taking an incorporation of all your mediums. So one other important takeaway from this: if you are using one medium, you are not following the rule of 7. You can't concentrate on one medium. You can't just do social media marketing. You can't just do email marketing, direct mail, newsletters, blogs, vlogs. I love vlogs because they're just so easy to do. But anyway, so all of those mediums you should be using them all. The ones that are working for you, because those have to be tested as well. Absolutely. So the rule of 7 is distributing that same content through those channels 7 times and then doing it all over again. 7
times, you guys. And I think that obviously from a marketing perspective for you, it's exciting because you start to see what works, what isn't working, as you start to reincorporate that. But I think that's something every business should, whether you're a personal brand or a, you know, traditional brand,
Yes.
you want to make sure you embrace that and test and listen, because if you get crickets, like for example, with me in the beginning, when I was in Instagram, I was just posting stuff that wasn't really resonating with my audience. And then eventually I was like, okay, this is not working, move on. I tested it, I know it doesn't work. And then the things that were really resonating, I started focusing more on that 7 times.
Yes.
Yes.
Test.
Yes.
Guys, because let me tell you, particularly Instagram marketing, where you've got to be creating content, always be creating. You're always creating original content to get the attention of your folks, because if you're doing crap content, let me tell you, people will find out, and eventually you'll get unfollowed, and you're going to be sitting there like, oh my God, why isn't anything working?
Yeah.
Well, because you're not testing, you're not looking at your analytics. Instagram, you don't have to purchase a tool. Instagram gives us the information. I have a tool because I've got clients and I'm a tool sucker, but you know, I'm an agency, so I got to track every little thing that happens on my accounts. But if you can't get a tool like that, Instagram has great analytics. Facebook does too. Twitter, all of them do now.
Yeah.
They all do. Thank you, Ken, for the shout out. Preach it. That's right. Use your analytics, people. Stop. What is it? Hope is not a marketing strategy.
Oh, that should be on a t-shirt or some sort of.
Hey, CK Tech Connect posts about that a lot. I've done it a couple times. 2 times. I haven't reached my 7 times, but maybe it's time to do it again.
I think so.
So go back.
That's
proof. Look at your feed. Yeah, look at your feed. Look at stuff that's done great. Repost it. Redo it. When you're stuck for content, remember, you've been doing this for a while. There's content sitting somewhere that could be used again. You've got new followers.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the great
about
things,
500-600. Yeah. Every time you get new followers, you're like, ooh, let me pick out my better content.
Exactly. And now with Instagram stories being a big thing, you can always reshare that particular post that was doing so well on your story, and then boom, you're bringing them back to that. Especially if they have high engagement, that's a really good one, I feel like, to re-engage the audience, and kind of with the new ones, you kind of excite them more.
And then if you try different images and they suck, then you know it's the image and not the message. So what you do is you go back and test it with the image that worked, and then you've got your results. If that didn't work, then you could be posting it at the wrong time, and that's a whole other thing. That's why we got to test. Test everything 7 times. No, don't test everything 7 times. That's just about the content. Do you guys have any questions on this? Like,
yes, let us know. Okay, so I'll read the question. I'm so inconsistent with IG. How do I get enough time to be on all platforms? Monica, I think this is a great question for you.
You know, I've been doing this, for the business 4 years. Social media marketing in general 7 years now, because I used to do it for the mortgage company when I was in lending. I streamline everything. Everything is on a tool. Everything is on Sprout Social. I schedule my content, and I'll be honest here, I schedule all my content but Instagram. I'm too OCD about it. I'm still posting it manually, and I've got tools that do it, and I've tested the tools. So there are a lot of people. Nicte is an awesome planner. She picks one day, I think, and she creates her content. I'm not that person, so maybe you are, because I've just gotten fast at it. I actually have to slow myself down when I'm training someone.
Because you're in this mindset.
Because I'm at it. I'm on the zone. So I actually have to slow down sometimes because I'm on a zone. The 7 times within the time frame. It used to be that it was 18 months, but that was back in the dark ages of marketing. Which, yes, I was still in those dark ages. I've been in marketing for a really long time, but that's because I love it. But it used to be 18 months. But in this day and age, we suggest when you get a nice chunk of new followers. If it's a timely, if it's something about a particular season or time frame, I would go ahead and hit it at that. It doesn't hurt for you. I don't sit there and wait a year to repost content that I know that my audience likes to talk about. I really don't. So if you've got that kind of content that you know your audience likes, do it every 6 months. If it's educational, you may not you have your followers that you've educated already, but you've got your new followers, and your old followers may have not seen it. So, you know, look at your
might
analytics.
re-excite them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at the engagement.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
if you feel like you posted it, test it. Always test. There's nothing wrong with testing. If you actually want to kind of let your audience know, I always put something on my story. Bear with me, I'm working on highlights, or bear with me, I'm testing whatchamacallit. That's why my feed looks special today. Sorry, apologize for the word. That's why my feed may not look up to snuff. Use your stories to communicate those testing things. Believe it or not, I get so many comments during direct messages on my stories when I'm letting my audience know what it is that I'm doing, why my things may be wacky.
Absolutely. It's those behind the scenes. But
yeah,
you guys,
I appreciate that.
We've come to a time. We can
have.
get so excited about talking, but we want to try and keep it always to 15 minutes just because we want you guys to keep coming back every other week.
Yes.
So
we're like
remember,
the teases.
Yes. And remember, you can always DM us if you have any questions, or we also have a Facebook group. So
yes, go to the LA Baller Show. We've got to click on the Facebook page that you can just join the group right there. You can ask us all kinds of questions there. It's private and it's really educational. There's not going to be any selling there. So please feel free to join us there and ask the questions.
Yes. So we hope you guys, and if this is helpful for you, share it with your friends. The replay is going to be available for 24 hours, but we also include that within our website.
Yes, website. We'll be tweeting it out tomorrow. It'll be on Facebook. So we got you covered.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Have a great Thursday.
Bye.